On tonight's episode 144 of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, we completely disregard the fact that Cooper won his class this weekend because we don't talk about racing. How did that make you feel?
You know, I was kind of hurt since we talked about Logan's racing last weekend, but it's okay.
Well, this show is trying to answer your questions. We had a lot of good questions, but I just want you to know this may be the last show you'll ever get to see where I have this big, giant mustache that looks like a caterpillar. And with that, you can watch this on YouTube or listen to it on a podcast. If you want to support Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, thank Yamaha, Moto, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, Trail Tech, Seat Concepts, Fasst Company, and you can always shop through Amazon on our links on dirtbiketest.com. And don't forget the push-through button on Rocky Mountain MC, also on www.dirtbiketest.com. Now here's the show. We're live, right?
Yep. Now we're
right. Are you sure?
Yep.
2 buttons are pushed. What do you have to enter a code in that thing or something?
Well, now we do.
Welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, everybody. This is the best show that you're going to watch right now, absolutely tonight on Tuesday. And I think we need to start calling it Tech Talk Tequila Tuesday because I didn't get any tacos. Nobody made me tacos, but I did do something else that was pretty cool. I rode probably 250 laps today, which is quite a bit, really, for most people. But talk about that later. What else? What else went on? This is the show where we
Talk about dirt bikes.
and motorcycle products.
Yep.
This is my co-host currently. He's still in the audition phases. This is, I keep on wanting to say Cletus because that's the first thing I ever called you.
Yep.
So it's Cooper, Cletus, Tyler. Nope, that's the other one's name.
Luke.
Yep. Right. They're all a bunch of first names. When he learns when he's out of co-host school, by
will
then,
include your number.
I'll remember
3096. You may enter a different number now, or
Everyone
press
just
the
bailed
pound
on us.
sign to
We
send
have
your
no
SMS
producer.
notification.
And now everybody's got our information for the call-in studio, which we
Your
now
SMS
have.
notification will include your number 3096.
Hey, it's coming
You may
through the
enter a
headsets, by
different
the
number
way.
now, or press the pound
Listen.
sign to send your
Listen.
SMS
Listen to this.
notification.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mark Daniels, you got it all.
Okay, so if you have all that information, you can hack into our call-in studio now, I'm pretty sure, which is super awesome. So tonight, the show is brought to you by our usual suspects, but we have like we talked about last week, we have a new sponsor, Seat Concepts, and that includes the Seat Concepts Hot Seat Hotline.
Yep.
Where you, the viewers, can not only chat in. Mark Daniels just knocked me out of my chair. He has tacos, tequila, and cerveza.
That's what I was saying. He's got it all.
Yeah. Do you have this weird girl in your headphones or on your speaker, Mark, telling you how to dial into the studio? I don't even know the number of our studio, but anyways,
It's on our show. It's on the show notes.
Seat Concepts Hot Seat Hotline. That's where you call in and you can get. Well, you don't know what you're going to get on this show, but hopefully it's good information.
And when you call in, make sure you give your name and the reason for your call, but keep it brief.
Yep.
We do actually have a special guest, though, coming on probably about 8 or so minutes.
We do.
Yeah.
This actually got worked out.
Yep. I just got the email right now.
Oh, because I was in the shower or the pool or both. Actually, I got in the pool and the pool was so stinking hot that I just was a sweating mess. It was like I got into a sauna and then I was in the house walking around just sweating and I had to go literally take a cold shower before this show, which all of you guys really need to do because we've started off again with technical difficulties that I'm not super stoked on. Logan is
Well, it was going smooth.
It was going smooth. And what happened?
Logan's got booted from the call for some reason, and so that is why you heard the lady talk because that was Logan rejoining.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Well, as long as it's all working. Hope everybody's having a good time. This is show number what?
144.
144. I like that. For that, I'm drinking, let's see. I'm drinking my Jimmy Juice right now. This is my good Jimmy Juice. And then the tequila for tonight is Regosa, which I'm going to bring in here. That's I'll have that a little later when things get going if I don't spill it. And so our other sponsors are
Yamaha, Moto, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, Trail Tech, Fasst Company, and Seat Concepts.
I didn't use a Yamaha. I'm sure there's Taco Moto stuff on the bike I was riding.
Oh yeah.
I was actually wearing Climb goggles today. I'm testing some of their new. They have the ones with the magnetic attachment and stuff.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I've been running those. Those are the cool ones that Matt wears. Yours are magnetic attachment, right?
No, I don't believe so.
Yours don't. That fancy lens, that gold lens.
I haven't even tried to take it
Oh,
off
okay.
because it has just been. I've had no reason to take it off.
So yeah, I was wearing Climb gear, running DDC sprockets. I had everything set up to put a Trail Tech GPS on my bike, but I was riding around in a figure 8 in my front yard, so I didn't really need it. Fasst Company Flex handlebars, the best flexing handlebars, and you saw me test them today.
Yeah, you did. You tipped over a little bit.
I did it a couple times, and it tipped over enough to where I asked him to politely kick my front wheel back into line, but the handlebars were still straight, which is amazing.
Yep.
No, it's not amazing. It's normal. And of course, the aforementioned seat concept. So thank you everybody for sponsoring the show. If you're out there and you want to show support for these companies because they're helping us or they're helping this sport and industry, use them. And you can also help us out if you're going through and buying your dirt bike stuff at Rocky Mountain ATV MC. There's a banner on our webpage, and on most of our Fresh Dirt stories, there's a thing that says shop at Rocky Mountain ATV MC. If you click on that, it will take you over there and you can start shopping then, and we get a little slice of that, a little commission as it were. And also the Amazon link, which we put on different things. It's usually at the bottom of this show if you're watching it later, or it's in the chat someplace. The Amazon link helps us out a little bit. If I can figure out how to get them to start sending the money to my bank account like they were supposed to, which they stopped, but that's my problem. Okay. I have another business called JimmyLewisOffroad.com. We're not teaching any classes for the foreseeable future, except for up at the Tour Tech Rally, which I'm going to in a couple weeks. So you're not going to get to be a better rider for a little while, unless you want to take one of our online courses. If you're a beginner or a novice rider and you want to kind of really relearn the very basic fundamentals of riding, emails for a discount code of that. It's only about $40 to pretty much learn how to ride the right way. If you're in a relationship with somebody that wants to learn how to ride, or you're related to somebody that you want to teach how to ride, I would suggest save that relationship and let us do the hard work for you.
And once you purchase that online course, you'll actually be entered for my beta test as well.
Yeah, the beta test is
It's live.
It's live, which means Matt will personally assist you.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yeah. You go on, you make an appointment, and you get to have a little meeting with me, and we get to talk about a video. You get to submit a video, and I get to watch it, and then you get to talk to me about what I saw in your video. And
Cooper will start helping you out with this pretty soon.
Yep.
I think.
Yes, training is going to start pretty soon here.
You're just in tons of training. You're out of school, and your training has just begun. I was teaching them how to make wet dirt today.
I actually got fired a couple of times, but I actually learned.
Proper wet dirt, not slick slime mud, no shiny stuff.
No shine.
And no dust. It's tricky. I'm picky about this. If anybody's ever seen me around a water truck or a hose or something, it's kind of like me watching you change a tire. There's no way you can do it the way that I want you to do it. It's impossible. So we have lots of stuff to talk about tonight. I see we got lots of questions.
Yeah, we got lots of questions.
Lots of different ways you can get us questions. You can email us. You can drop it in the chat in the live form, or if you're watching this afterwards, go ahead and drop it in the comments. We go through those comments every week, peel them back up, answer your question, then you get to watch it next week. So if you say, well, I wasn't live, and now you can call in on the call-in, the Seat Concepts hotline, and that number, get your pens, papers, and Matt's going to type it in the chat, or you're not going to type it in the chat.
I'll type it in the chat, but we're not going to keep it open for the whole show.
Okay, because it costs money, and we're poor people. And I told Matt that every 3 cents that it costs us, it's going to come out of his check. I think that's what I told him.
Yep.
775-318-5515 is the number. Can you say that again?
775-318-5515. 318-5515.
You will, and give Logan your name and your reason for your call. Logan is the screener.
Yeah, Logan.
He's in the other room right
and
now.
he'll thank me. He'll thank me for this, like when he gets older, because I've noticed like Logan is getting progressively more lazy. Like yesterday, we were out in the garage working on dirt bikes, getting stuff ready, and Cooper called him. And what was Logan doing?
He was sitting in his bed in his underwear.
Sitting, and this is at least like noon to 3 o'clock. And I'm not sure what like. And here's the way I think. Like if I remember correctly, and I do, at my age, I can't. I feel like I'm short in time. Like I want to do so much different things and stuff. And if I felt like I was laying around in my underwear in the bed in the middle of the day, and I hadn't just kicked the girlfriend out, I'd be really, really disappointed in me wasting that time. Because
so much to do.
You don't get it back. So much to do. And I know you guys didn't have dirt bikes, but I offered and I could dress you guys up. Not that I'm weird or anything like that, but I do have a lot of motorcycle gear. So, okay, go ahead and, if you want to, and we should have got Victor to call in.
Well,
I'm sure
maybe he's in the. He commented on our announcement post that we were doing the show tonight, so he might be able to. He might be on the chat.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
We will see what goes on.
We'll see if he can get disqualified from the Seat Concepts hot seat.
Yeah, the hotline.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
All right, we'd like to thank Yamaha for their sponsor, Yamaha YZ 4-stroke motorcycle. For motocross riders driven to dominate, the Yamaha YZ line of 4-stroke bikes are built for victory. Visit YamahaMotorsports.com today to explore what's new and improved for 2022. The YZ 450F and YZ 250F bring the performance with powerful 4-stroke engines, reducing unsprung weight and new suspension settings. For the full look of a full factory ride, both the YZ 450F and 250F come in an exclusive Monster Energy Yamaha Racing Edition graphics package. And you can take precision tunability to the next level with the Yamaha exclusive and industry's only free power tuner app.
Okay, hold on. Because we got a question. It's really important. It supersedes what you're going to say.
All right.
Richard Cody, what does he want to know?
Oh, he's preparing to start racing Moran on my Husky 501. If you could give me any advice for a noob getting started dirt racing.
Okay. Right now, tell him what he should do.
Visit YamahaMotorsports.com today. Find your Yamaha YZ and enter the victory zone. Richard,
that couldn't have been timed any better. I think you should just park the Husky.
That's a big bike to be racing them around.
Yeah, I think you can find your YZ 4-stroke right there at YamahaMotorsports.com. And if you really want to know about it, what you should do is you go over to dirtbiketest.com and go into one of the stories there. And actually, this is the second banner that pops up. There's a thing you can click on that shows how Eli Tomac won the Supercross championship. So that's a good start, right, to your thing victory. Or you could go into the sidebar on the Fresh Dirt and see where Christian Craig won the 250 Supercross championship. And I know Moran and Supercross are a little bit different, but it's all motorcycles and it's all racing. So that's exactly what I would do. And if you click on both of those and then tell me how that goes, and then come back and ask that question again in 10 minutes, I will give you the real answer.
Well, actually, those banners got taken down yesterday.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it was a super short.
It was a quick run.
Quick run. Yeah, so it's just normal YZ stuff.
Just click on it. It doesn't matter. Okay, so So have you? So
I can give him some inside.
Well, I know you're a racer too, novice racer. I'm just wondering, is this going to be his first racing period? I guess that's what he means when he's a noob.
Well, he says he's just getting started in dirt racing.
Yeah, so it's the first thing. I think it's a great place to go. You're going to meet a lot of friendly people. There's probably a ton of people out there that give you any kind of advice you need when you're there at the race. I would just hope on my side that maybe. And I did this when very first time I ever went to a motocross race. I went to the race the week before and watched.
Okay, yeah.
I went out and watched and saw, my parents made me do this, but we went and watched and saw how it worked. So we weren't learning kind of on the fly. We weren't double learning on the fly.
Yep.
But, you get to see how people start, where they finish, what they, how they gassed, all those things like that. That wouldn't hurt to go and watch one. And then I know that most of the desert racing is pretty club heavy. There's lots of different clubs that are out there.
Yep.
And and especially, you might be going out by yourself or with a friend or whatever, but if you can find somebody in a club that you can kind of, be a prospective member or ask them about it, they can help you. They can help you pit, and then and really where you need them is if something goes wrong, when something goes wrong, it's like a backup thing. But, if your riding is on point, if you're comfortable with your riding, if your equipment, it feels good to you, I think you're ready to go. What do you think, Cooper?
Yeah, I would make sure most of the novices I've been seeing recently, make sure you wear some sort of Camelback water or something. Because, you're going through the desert, you're going to get tired. Don't think you can just not have any water and make it to your pits.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you don't want to be cramping out there.
So can I chime in with my vast racing experience of 5 desert races?
Absolutely.
The best advice I ever got was from Crazy Nate, actually. He told me...
Get over the back and gas it.
No. He told me the exact opposite. Just on the start, just let everyone go.
Yep.
And then just trail ride, and you will start picking people off.
Ride like you're with your
really
friends.
Quick.
Nate told you this.
He told me, just let people go.
No way.
Off the start, and then just trail ride. Because it's your first race. Your goal should be to finish, and you build off of that. Go for finishing.
Yeah, that I should have said that too, but in order to finish first, you must first finish.
Yeah.
That's something that was often told to me.
Yeah, and just don't be worried about results.
Right.
My first race, I came out of the corner just hightailing it and got out of my comfort zone, and mistakes were made and regrets were made too. Yeah. So make sure you just, ride like you're with your friends.
Right.
A little trail ride.
Yeah. So Rich Dakota, aside from getting a YZ, go ride the Husky the first time. And then when you want to go to Victory Zone, YamahaMotorsports.com might help you out. Remember, they are a sponsor of this show, so that's why we throw that kind of stuff in. Although, ask Trevor, I think that the YZ450FX is that type of bike of choice. Mm-hmm. We have a really awesome story on how he prepped it to finish, unfortunately, second overall at the Glen Helen, 10 hours of Glen Helen.
Oh, man.
That's a lot of riding.
It's because he doesn't come and train with me.
I think he was out there, if he would be out there doing your figure eights, he would go first.
There's a lot more to it than that, but he pretends like he's busy all the time, but I think it's because Matt's always calling him, asking him how to do social media stuff.
Yep, pretty much. I'm looking to grow.
And they're night races, so that's another way to jump right into it. That is
pretty intimidating, yeah.
And that's what Trevor talks about prepping that Yamaha for, is for the Glen Helen race, which was a night race also. So yeah, Richard, thanks for joining in on the show, and let us know how it goes. Maybe you can call in and tell us about your first race, and call back and tell us what idiots we were, and what the biggest piece of advice that we didn't give you that you wish we would have. That's your job for doing that. So awesome. How's everything else going? Are we getting any calls yet?
No. Our special guest has not called in yet.
That's okay. It's probably good that Logan's over there in the room. Is he in his underwear? In the other room.
I can go check. We can go check if he fell asleep, though.
Remember, guys, if you want to call in for the hot seat hotline, it's 775-318-5515.
I can hear him mumbling now. I don't know if he's yelling back at us or anything else. Okay, so let's go to our questions. So these are questions that we received on our websites, on our things. We're going to go ahead. What is Steve?
We'll say Steve. Hi, Jimmy, E.T. Al. Have a 2008.
Et al. That's et al. That means everybody else.
Hold on.
Oh.
He doesn't want just my opinion.
Okay. Et al. Have a 2008 Husqvarna FE 550E. The hydraulic.
What did you call that?
The what?
What did you call it?
Hey,
the bike or the?
It's sacrilege. That. Hey, 2008. A what?
Husqvarna.
Oh, you're fired.
Did I say that wrong?
Right.
Oh,
yeah, you're fired. Okay, so we're gonna cut Steve's things because we got a call.
Our first ever call from this is Lyndon.
Yep.
Let's
see how. So
he is on the air right now.
Lyndon, how are you doing?
Hello.
Yep, you're
right.
Live on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. Do you have any idea what you've gotten yourself into?
Austin filled me in, so hopefully I know what I'm gotten myself into, but we'll see.
So this is Lyndon.
I don't have a PVR with me. So,
It's no worries. We don't discriminate. So Lyndon's you started Seat Concepts way back when? When would that have been?
so that'd been in 2009.
It's really not that far back. I thought it was farther than that. But then again, it is 2022. So it's
You're just old.
It's been ages. And I met you at the airport someplace in Florida.
Yeah.
do you remember?
So I was,
I flew.
No, I was going down. What?
I was flying back to do some sort of press stuff for BMW. I think I have no idea what I was at the time. I was probably in the process of getting fired, but I think me and my wife were at the airport, and we must have had gear bags, and you pulled up and said, "Hey, you want to ride?" And I have no idea why I needed a ride, why I didn't have a ride arranged, but yeah, we hopped in the car and drove to where? Okeechobee or something like this?
No, it was, I want to say it's Dade City or somewhere.
Yeah.
I was in town for the GNCC, so.
Correct. And that's where I ended up going. And I guess the weird thing was I was kind of going back there to do this press thing, which is in conjunction with that whole Daytona Bike Week. But I managed to finagle a ride for the GNCC. I think I rode the industry class or I'm pretty sure by then I was delegated to riding the morning races. But do you remember, did I race a Cannondale there?
Yep.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. I remember, you know what the Cannondale was really good at? And everybody laughed, slamming into palmettos. Like those,
Yeah.
like those clumps that you hit that you don't even see in the sand. That Cannondale was really good at doing that. So
I thought you were going to say it's good at breaking down, but the palmettos is just as good too.
I don't know. I spent a lot of time. I mean, when I was a journalist, I used to ride everything and test everything. And I spent a lot of time on Cannondales, and in all honesty, and just like Husabergs, who my co-host
That's
here,
what it was.
Husaberg here, I spent a lot of times on Husabergs too, and I didn't have really a whole lot of mechanicals on them, but then I guess I'm just easy on equipment. So, but anyhow, Lyndon, you started Seat Concepts. You guys have been very successful. You make some of the best seats that I've ever ridden on, and especially those.
Thank you.
Those what's the material? I always like to call it suede.
Yes.
It's the ones that you make that are like the rally bike seats, which I still have a lot of bikes that I set up like rally bikes. And with that in combination with your foam and the shape of the foam, they're literally so good. And if you're like a dual sport guy in, wanting to do like longer distance riding on a KTM or Husky or, a bigger bike, that seat shape is so awesome because of the way it's cut. And then you add that suede to it. It gives it just a certain amount of grip, and it's just nice on your bottom.
I love the seats. They're so good.
Yeah. You're upset because your brother put yours on, and
yeah, it's somehow I got put on wrong, and at the bottom where the clip is got smashed, and I was like, shoot.
Yeah. He was all bummed out. But anyhow, so give us a little bit of history on how that's, because you guys are doing real well.
Yes, sir. Well, we started, so the Seat Concept side of the business started in 2009. But if you want to back up about 5 years before that, I got started making seats for vintage motocross bikes because I was really into restoring and racing vintage motocross bikes. And that was one of the first things that people needed. You get a bike out of the barn somewhere and it's all rat chewed, the seat's destroyed. And at the time, there just wasn't an option for the majority of the bikes. So I figured out how to make the seats, how to make the molds, because when we make a seat, they're not a glued together composition. So we use molds, and it's a liquid foam material that's injected into the mold, and it takes the shape of, in that case, the OEM seat,
Right.
So we got started doing that, and '09 hit, and, our world just kind of, or '08 basically, somewhere around in there when that the great recession hit, our world got turned upside down. So I was trying to find something that I could make a seat for that would actually sell in enough numbers to make a real business out of it instead of, just an excuse to go to the vintage races and pedal a few seats, And so buddy of mine had a Deere Z400, and I said, hey, man, I bet I could make a good seat for that. So we started experimenting, and we made a seat for him, and he was riding it back and forth to work. And he goes, man, this thing is really good. And one thing led to another, and we started peddling them on a couple online web forums, and one thing led to another. We sold a couple equaled 10 equaled 20, and we go, man, we're on to something. So we started making molds for all kinds of bikes, and that's how Seat Concepts was born. And today, I think we make seats for roughly about 250 different models of bikes. We build and ship well over 3,000 units a month. And we went from my garage to 45 employees since 2009. So yeah, it's just taken off like a rocket.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember, when I was testing all these different bikes, one of the biggest complaints that journalists always had about bikes was just horrible seats. And I don't sit down a whole lot, I guess, and so I'm not really picky about that part of the seat. But when I started racing, especially on the rally bike, I started getting really picky about the seat because you're on the bike for so long and you're hanging on. And then that's sort of when I started doing my adventure riding and my dual sport riding a lot more. And then you get really picky about it. And now with the motocross bikes being so powerful and stuff, you want your seat to actually kind of, it's not really, you're not sitting on your bike. You're hoping that when you put your butt down, it holds you onto the motorcycle just a little bit better.
Right. And then the shape, honestly, a lot of guys have discovered, because where the seat flares out, where you seat, it actually gives you something to lock onto your knees as well. So a lot of guys have discovered that. And if you go to a GNCC now, half the field in a 10 o'clock race, all the old guys are running our seats, which is really cool.
Yeah. I think that's more, we have, my friend of mine, Crazy Nate, talks about how he never really, it says it looks like he's sitting down, but he was just kind of bouncing up and down off the top of his seat. And he's a million years old, but I was telling him, like, oh, Nate, you can't do that anymore because bikes don't really have seats. He's talking about the old YZ, the old, monoshock YZ 250s and stuff like that he used to race. And, XR 500s that used to have this, that there were good 4 inches of foam on those bikes. And now we're down to what?
Oh, easily.
10 or 20 millimeters.
2.
Yeah. At the very back. Exactly.
A generous seat would have 2 inches of foam in it on a modern bike. They're hollow underneath, and you don't really see that. You take it off and turn it upside down, and it's hollow underneath, for weight savings and whatnot. But there's not much foam in a modern seat. No.
Yeah. We have Lucas Stenos, who's on the in the chat room, says bring back the Husaberg seats. You notice how I said that word?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to practice that one too.
Yeah, Husaberg. I don't know if I have any seat concept seats on my Husabergs. I don't know. I have to confess, Lynn, and I know you have a lot of vintage bikes and some odd modern bikes as well. But I'm a fan of the Husabergs. You may have heard,
right?
or seen.
So the Austrian Husabergs or the Swedish Husabergs?
Oh, any. I don't own any Swedish Husabergs because why? Because they're unreliable, I guess. Everybody tells me they're unreliable, even though I was getting like 150 hours out of like an older Husaberg 650. That was they were kind of built in Austria, but they're still the Swedish design. but they still had water pump issues and things like that. But I like that 70-degree motor. I'm a huge fan of the 570. Because I want to make sure that the bike I'm on has more power than your bike. And with that one, I know that's what I have for the most part. And then if I doesn't, then I just go get one of my KTM 1190s or something, and then I'm plenty happy.
Yep.
So, do you still have the SWM?
I didn't catch that. What'd you say?
Do you have the SMW or SWM? Now I'm drawing a blank.
Don't leave me out.
SWM.
SWM.
Yeah.
SWM.
Yeah. So we have, I think we have a couple of those, and for whatever reason, they got taken off the website. So we're going to have to look at because Austin mentioned that, and I looked on the website, and they weren't there. So we do make them. So I don't know what happened there, a technical glitch on our end, but we do make those.
But you had one of those bikes, right?
An SWM? No, I haven't. So I have an AJP.
Oh, that's right. It was the AJP. See, here's where everybody thinks that I know everything, but I knew it was a bike. It was a weird bike that had 3 letters.
That's what's important.
So, they're kind of both red.
It looks like a rally bike. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's really heavy.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say it's like a DR650 that kind of grew some rally stuff to it or something, just as because the DR650 is kind of a heavy bike also that doesn't necessarily look like it. Yeah. But I think I wrote it up at that thing that Martin Hackworth put together for some of the trail advocacy up in Idaho that we were at that one time. Yep. So, and that's
you were tooling around on it up there. Sure.
Yeah. That's another thing, that, you should know is that a lot of the companies that I like dealing with that I support also support land use issues. They're actively involved in keeping riding areas open, supporting, they know they have to, because if we don't have any place to ride, companies like this, like everybody, all companies really don't have products to sell. So,
if the guy, if you only want to ride a bike, they certainly aren't going to need a seat. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, any other cool stuff that we should know about for Seat Concepts?
So we moved not long before we were at the Martin ride. We moved up here from California, and that was a good move. It's just this is paradise. I love living in Idaho. The riding just. It's hard to beat the riding here. I don't know if you can. The weather's nice. Don't get tons of snow. It gets a little cold. It's like the high desert, So, but love that. What else we got going on?
And you
getting ready to. Go ahead.
I was saying, you were smart enough to get your company up and running strong enough so that you could go do more product testing. Correct?
Yeah. 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 So I got one of the new 1290s in, so we're just starting to make do the initial R&D work for a seat for that. So that's coming down the pike. We just finished up the 901 stuff.
And that'd be the Husqvarna Norden, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Husqvarna Norden 901. On a personal note, I'm getting ready to fly out on Sunday. My oldest daughter is getting ready to have her first grandchild, so we're going to Charleston, South Carolina to welcome the new kiddo to the family. So that's really excited about that. But life is just great, man. I really got no complaints. We moved up here. We've assembled a hell of a team. You've met Austin or know Austin. He was a scorer for us. But the business is firing on all cylinders right now, and my goal is just to keep the momentum rolling.
Yeah. Well, the products really do speak for themselves. Like I said, and Matt's seen this in action before. A lot of times I decide which bike I'm going to ride based on whether it has a seat concept seat on it or not. And because I have like a few different KTM versions of KTMs, they're all 500s, they're all sort of set up for rally, and I can sort of pick and choose, grab whichever one. But it's when I'm doing that, one of the biggest things, I'll look at the tires. Okay, the tires, the mousse is good, and then I look at the seat. That's the way I make my decision. It's like, okay, and then if it's like one of the bikes that's the same, like I have 3 or 4 2014 to 2016s. Oh, the seat just gets swapped around. The seat stays underneath my butt no matter what bike I'm riding. And then the difference between my 2017 and my 2020 is a lot of times I want to ride the 2017 just because I like the configuration of the motor a little bit better, but I ride the 20 because I have the good seat. So there's
well, the other thing too is once you get the seat broken in, man, it's like, you don't want to, it's got to, it's broken in just for you. So now you don't want to, you just always want to ride that same seat.
Yeah. So Matt, you don't get to ever ride my bike, my seat concept seats. Well, because Matt let him borrow my 500 the last time we borrowed my 500 and came back with a valve kind of missing and lost a valve.
Yeah. Does seat concepts offer a seat that will fix the valves?
No,
that drops.
No, you'll probably be so comfortable on your butt that you will even not pay attention to where you're going, and then the valve will fall out of the motor just like last time.
Oh yeah, I would have even gotten more. More lost. I would have found another main road to take.
This is a very long story, and it just gets more sad every time I tell it. But the bike's up and running. That's what I was riding today. I was breaking it in when I was doing those figure eights.
Oh, you want me to break it in more?
No, it's fine.
Break in or break down?
Break down.
I think I'm getting these two confused.
Yeah. So, but I'm super stoked that you guys are on board supporting us, and so it's the Seat Concepts Hot Seat Hotline. And you'll probably enjoy how I grill people if they don't have the right seat on their bike when they call on this hotline.
Cool.
So
cool. Yeah, I get it. Just, and if anything we can help you guys with, don't hesitate to call.
Yeah. Well, you guys built in I kind of got a little detached from you guys for a little while, and then one of your previous marketing guys saw me do a demo at Tour Tech Rally or something a few years back, and he said, "How come you don't run a different seat on that bike?" And I didn't know who he was when he was asking me. I go, because I can never sit down. And I go, in reality, these seats on for me, I go on the adventure bikes, and this you're gonna make a killing when you do that 1290 seat. Correct, by the way. I've never ridden a production one. I rode a early production one, and it was because they're really working so hard to make the seat height low on those bikes. They're really compromising a lot of things to have a low seat height because it's so important for what we call showroom bounce. People want to put both of their feet on the ground.
Right. But
when I explained to your guy, I said, yeah, I don't like, because I feel like I'm sitting in a bucket on these adventure bikes, and I don't, but I stand up all the time, so it's not a big deal. But when I sit down so far, and the foot pegs are so high. In other words, the seat's been cut down so low. And this is the one thing a lot of people don't understand when I explain it to them. It's like, you don't ride with your feet on the ground. That shouldn't be your most important consideration when you're talking about your seat. So I run a tall seat on my adventure bike, especially for when I'm really adventure touring. When I'm doing stupid stuff like doing demos, I'd almost prefer to have a lower seat, because then I can, do foot plants and hop over logs, or, get my feet on the ground when I do something dumb, which I shouldn't be doing on an adventure bike anyways. But that they built me up a tall ribbed KTM 1090 seat, and I love that thing. That thing has just been, and because it's super grippy. It's got like some aggressive grippy stuff on the side, and it's got those ribs on it. So when I get on the gas on that thing, and every once in a while I do, you stick on the bike, and then it's so comfortable when you sit down, because you only sit down halfway down. You don't fold your legs like tent stakes. And so, like adventure bike riders, tall seats, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, we call those the hard adventure seats, and we sell a lot of those actually.
Yeah, so. I think guys that that are really doing a lot of touring on the bikes are kind of catching on. They start realizing that when their legs aren't so folded up, when they're, sitting up just a little bit taller. It makes it easier to stand up when you need to go from sitting to standing. You can always get your butt off to the side a little bit and get that foot down when you come to a stop. And if you're really doing adventure riding, which doesn't mean doing 22 stoplights between your house and going to Starbucks, it means you're going to ride the backcountry discovery route through Oregon or the backcountry discovery route through Washington. Then you're not doing stopping and starting. You're just sitting on your seat, just, passing miles and then standing up when the riding gets technical.
Yep.
And that's where those things really work good. So, block San Felipe Bob, completely out of the whole thing. Bob just made a comment that he mentioned a competitor's, seat, company.
We won't even say it.
But he says one of these days I'll give Seat Concepts a try. So at least we'll let Bob stay now.
Okay.
So, but anyways, thanks for joining us. If you ever need us to tell somebody about something new, get a hold of us. Tell us about your adventures. And you still go out and race some GNCCs every once in a while. Yes.
Yeah. So I went down to Florida, and I'm originally from Florida. So that's kind of the tie-in why you saw me down there. But I went down and raced the Florida Trail Riders Hare Scramble Series all winter. They do it in the winter in Florida for obvious reasons. But so I raced every one of the events, and I haven't been racing in years and years. And I was riding 50A, and I finally got a second place in one of the races. I didn't get a win yet, so that's my goal for next season. But I had a lot of fun with that, and I'm gonna go to some GNCCs after their summer break and just get tuned up and warmed up for the Florida series.
Yeah.
But
I tell
I'm having a lot of fun with that. Oh, I forgot one thing I was going to tell you. So we're going to, and we'll keep you guys in the loop on this, but the KTM rally is going to be right up the road from our shop this year.
Allegedly. Yeah.
A couple hours up allegedly. Yeah. And, so if and when that happens, we're hoping to, do some shop tours and that kind of stuff. So I'm sure a lot of your listeners, if they're going to come to the KTM rally, we'd welcome them to come by the shop and
that'd be
show
cool.
them how everything's made.
Maybe we can
really cool.
Maybe we can do a Tech Talk Taco Tuesday episode live from there.
That would be dope.
I'm down for a remote show.
Can Logan sit around there in his underwear? This is the question. Can my call screener just sit and wearing his underwear? Well, we can put him on a nice seat.
Yeah. I'll have to run up HR and see what they say. But we might be able to work something out.
So cool. Okay, Lennon. Hey, thanks a bunch for being our first ever caller on the Seat Concepts Hot Seat Hotline. And I'm sure we will run into you out in the trail. But hey, don't get discouraged by getting second place in the 50 class in Florida, because those dudes haul ass.
That's A too. So
yeah.
And like riding in Florida sand is a whole special treat in itself. And they're gnarly. Those guys, I mean, they don't know what a hill is to save them from themselves. Like a hill is a freeway overpass, and it's usually paved, and you just go over it to get from over the railroad tracks or something like this, or over some gully or ravine with water in it. But man, do they go fast through sand hoops, really fast. So, okay, well, yep, go ahead.
I was just going to say I know a couple of the guys, and they ride it. They live on acreage and they're able to ride all the time. And it's cold up here in Idaho, so I was coming from not riding but since the last race, and then it's tough. But I'm not making excuses. But I'm gonna get them next year for sure.
Cool.
They don't know what's gonna hit them. So
right on. Okay, well, we will talk to you soon, and thanks for calling in.
Okay, Brian. You guys have a good one, and we appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, cool.
We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, so you were going to get back to Steve's thing. Can you try this? You're going to get a second try.
Oh, what if I say I forgot already?
You cannot forget.
Huskaberg.
Wow, that's almost as good as Washugala.
Where's the K come from?
Washugala.
Well, I was trying to remember what you said and not just read it.
Husaberg. Get the bell and just start ringing it. Husaberg. Okay.
I saw I was close. So, hi, Jimmy, and all. Have a 2008 Huskaberg FE. Did I say it wrong again?
Are you sure the head hit made you smarter?
Yes. All right. Well, he's got a FE 550E. The hydraulic Magura clutch doesn't feel like it fully disengages with the lever all the way in. Even with adjustment dial fully in, is there any further adjustments at the slave cylinder? Might the system simply need to be bled? There is always clutch drag, and finding neutral is a pig, as per usual on most bikes. Great show, by the way.
Husaberg. Okay,
Husaberg.
so it sounds like something is missing in there. If the adjustment on the slave cylinder, so on the master cylinder, so the master cylinder is up on the top and the slave cylinder is down on the bottom, and there's really not an adjustment down there that I know of. But so have you taken it apart? The question is, have you taken it apart and put it back together? And I know on some of those there's a long pin in there, and there is also sometimes a ball bearing that's along that pin and that shaft. And on the other side where the push part is on the basket, there's some washers, and it sounds like maybe something in there has gone missing, and it's caused the slave cylinder to kind of go to the end of its range. But for sure, and the thing about the hydraulic thing is they're self-compensating, but if that piston is kind of reaching the end of its stroke, it can't go any farther. And so I'm guessing that's where it is. You sort of need to push that piston back in and then get something in there to lengthen the activation rod so that it can do its work. The other thing that could have happened, see, generally when the clutch wears, it actually the distance gets smaller, so it compresses the piston back in. So I don't think you've like worn the clutch down, but then I'm just wondering if something there's other things I've seen happen. I've seen the nut on the clutch basket come loose, so you're actually pushing the whole clutch basket away from the bearing, and so you're actually pressing the clutch basket, the whole assembly, away before it actually starts to open up. So there's a lot of different things it could be. So I don't necessarily think you're going to find it's just the slave unit. You're going to find that something is missing in there, or something has come loose that's causing it not to adjust. So think about that. And there's how you say it now. From now on, you need to say Husaberg.
That looks like Husaberg.
Yeah, that says Husaberg.
Yeah.
Husaberg. Yeah.
Well, I think there'd be an H after the A for a Husaberg. But I'm still confused. Where did the K come from?
Well, I was just imagining Jimmy Lewis saying it, and that's what came out.
Was I naked?
No, God, what the?
Well, I don't know. She might have been hacked into my Grindr account or something like that. I don't know what's going on with you kids these days. Okay, next question.
It's from Mark Skolrod. I am told by my local KTM dealer that I can get a 2023 300 XC September. Also, the XCWs with TBI won't be out until a year or so from now. I want to skip the TPI bikes. I own a 2017 250 XCW with the SX head. I have MX bikes, so I don't need a do-all bike. I live in Roanoke and ride some single
I'm sure
track.
Wherever Roanoke is, they don't say it like that, but keep going. No, just skip.
Okay.
Just
My XC works okay with about 130 PSI in the forks, and the clickers backed out, and it works okay on the MX track. Yes, it's an XC. I ride vet like MX track at the same location. The longest jump is 50. The older W 2014 350 and 2018 or 19 300 TPI I rode were great in the technical single track, but confidence deflating on the MX track. If the 2023 W will have a similar feel on the track, I think I'll stick with the XC. Any thoughts on waiting for a W instead of the XC?
So Mark, it's really simple. You kind of spill this out. You say you have a motocross bike.
Yeah.
So if you want a trail bike, get XCW. If you want to get a bike that you can do more stuff on, more versatile, if you're going to take the bike on the track at all, get XC. It's really that simple. I would not take an XCW onto the track and expect it to work. And I get where you're talking about with that confidence. If you've ridden motocross bikes and you ride an XCW or any sort of like trail bike on a motocross track, they feel horrible. And just like a motocross bike feels horrible out on the trails, if you've ever ridden a trail bike. So they're two different kinds of setups. And I will tell you that the newer KTM fuel injection, you're calling it TBI. I'm pretty sure. I don't know exactly what they're calling that. I didn't read that much because I got upset when I started reading everybody's impressions. So I didn't pay attention. The newer system provides a lot more bark or motocross style power delivery, which complements what you're going to be doing with that bike. So for sure, make sure that you decide what you're going to do with it. If you're just going to keep it exclusively as a trail bike because you have a motocross bike, I would have no problem with going with XCW. If you're going to want a multifaceted bike, go with a newer bike, mostly for the suspension, but I think you'll be impressed with the way that the power delivery is. It is better, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with TPI versus the newer system. I know that, I've had some discussions with the way that they're thinking, and they're smart. They're smart. They're a smart company. They'll figure it out. It sort of depends on what the market demands as far as there's some other stuff that goes into a lot of that. But I think that TPI was the one that they could get working better first, and this newer one's a little bit more complicated to get working properly. It's just the way that fuel injection is on a two-stroke. Fuel injection on a two-stroke is very, very difficult. It's not easy. It's way harder than a four-stroke because stuff's happening so much quicker. And so this is where we're at. And when you want really snappy throttle response, that's when things get really complicated. It's really easy to make things run like a diesel, which is really good for trail riding. That's the kind of power. Well, most guys think they want a top fuel dragster, but they really need a diesel to do what they want to do. And I love my my TPI bike. I'm really, really happy with it. So that's the answer to that question.
All right, we got a couple more questions. Harley is asking, is it bad to store gas in a gas or jug without it being fully sealed? Like, say, with the vent open. Would that make the gas go bad faster or allow it to pick up more moisture? Thanks.
I am going to turn this one over to Chris Reel for the expert answer. But my experience is when it's so the worst thing you can do is just leave it open atmosphere. Really open atmosphere, like big opening, like gas cap off. Worst thing you can do. Worst thing you can do is have it in your like plastic gas tank with a vent open, like, a normal dirt bike that just has a gas vent. That gas seems to go bad just a little bit quicker than just a general plastic gas can, in my opinion. And my only testing has been through real world experience. If I want to preserve gasoline, I have it in sealed metal cans or metal drums that are not sitting on a concrete floor because the condensation somehow works its way into those containers. So like any of my fuel drums that are there for a while, I always have a piece of wood underneath them. So they're angled slightly, and then air can get underneath. And especially if you're in a humid environment, this becomes a little more of a concern. But yeah, I don't think I would be storing gas in an open, unsealed container.
Chris Reel says, keep tank vent closed. Gas does not like sunlight.
See, this is what's so cool about this show is we have experts like Chris that are there kind of paying attention, watching, and they're keeping me from tripping over my tongue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you trying to pronounce Husaberg.
Oh, God. I don't even remember how to say it.
Or Washougal.
Or Washugala.
Right.
What was the other word? What was the other word?
Washugula? Washuga?
What's the other word? We need a list of the words.
We need to make a game out of this.
Yeah.
There's a few.
You know what? That's what we'll do. We'll get a couple new words every episode and we'll have you say them.
Can you keep them like 4 letters?
No, we're going to go with there'll be motorcycle related words.
Okay.
And we'll put them in there and we'll have you pronounce them.
I'm going to start practicing.
You think we only pick on Logan? in the other room in his underwear, sitting on the couch.
Do you think he's listening to us?
No, he's on what do you guys do? Chitter chat or something like that?
Snapchat,
right?
Okay.
How many of his sister's friends are his girlfriends?
That's beyond me.
Are you fishing from that same pond?
Nope.
Are you guys competing?
Nope.
Okay, just checking.
Chris Real says, if you smell gasoline vapors in your garage, that is horsepower leaking.
That's right, leaving. That is correct. I totally agree with that too. Every time I open up my shipping container, with the bikes in there, you smell all that horsepower coming out.
I always want to. I'm scared. I'm glad no one smokes by there because I have a feeling we'd have a bit of an explosion if someone just
it just shows how those things are sealed up. But that's why we have to pull them out every month or two and start them all up and run them and then fill the gas tanks back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Chris. So anyways, if you, George wants to call.
Yeah, he wants to call in.
Well, did somebody so do you have to use the chat to ask if you can call and then call in?
No, just go ahead and call in.
Just go ahead and call in.
Yeah, 775-318-5515.
You know why he wants to call in? I know the exact reason why he wants to call in. He's like, hey, Jimmy, what are you drinking? Yeah. So anyways, Ragosa tonight. This is stuff I imported back from my trip down to Baja. So next question.
It's from Chris Brumel. Hi, I've been shopping for a red, white, or orange 300 two-stroke to save my 2007 450 EXC from the abuse of technical stuff, rocks, single track, around Southern California and beyond. With regard to the 2023 KTM 300 SX XC changes to the bikes you were able to ride are guarding your wallet, do you think I should wait for the engines to come to the 2024 XCW or other colored KTMs? I prefer to be on the spring forks and wide tranny.
Oh boy, you have a lot of special needs.
It sounds like he likes the colors.
No. I mean, but that's the thing. I mean, Big John out here, John Perkins, he wanted a certain variety. He wanted a linkage and he wanted a certain fork, and he had to wait for this certain Husky, and the only way he could get it was the Rockstar edition. So I understand the thing you're going through there. If you are looking for a trail bike, I don't think that the new motor is that important. Like if you're looking for trail bike, if you're looking for a bike with a more aggressive power delivery, then wait for the new. It's not really a new motor; it's new fuel injection. It's a new cylinder because there's no ports on the transfer ports. It's all in the one boost port in the back. But and then it's an electric power valve, which is also part of the equation. So there's a lot of stuff that's different. So yeah, I guess because the electric power valve, it is new, but the bottom end is kind of the same. So if it really depends. And I don't really, for trail riding, I don't really have any problems with the way the current bike works. And yeah, I don't. But I guarantee you that if they switch over to that electric power valve, it's going to make the motor so much more versatile. But remember, they're going to deliver it to you. And if KTM continues on their ways, they're going to deliver it to you one or two ways. You're going to get like two positions on a switch. And then in order to alter that, and God only knows how the aftermarket is going to respond and start playing with that power valve adjustment, because that's a huge, you can do so much with an electronic power valve. But for the aftermarket to understand it, and I keep saying this, that I still have a hard time finding an aftermarket tuned ECU that works as good in rideability and drivability as the stock ones on most bikes. Sure, they all make more horsepower, but they're not as usable, especially where I like to ride them. And I don't like to take it out of my driveway and go out in the street and turn it wide open and go, oh yeah, I got a whole bunch of power. I actually go out in the trail and use it. And did you hear my bike popping? Those couple pops I got when I was doing figure eights today?
I did, yeah.
You know how pissed off I am about that?
I do not. Tell me.
I'm pissed. Yeah.
Do you find out where oil was leaking from?
No, I know where it's leaking. It's from. It's leaking because I actually pulled the valve cover off. I started and ran it for a little while, and then I went and checked all the valves and stuff. and I know I didn't get the breather hose on the back of the valve cover on there. So I know where that's coming from. But so what happened is I think that I have a piggyback tuner on that, a fuel tuner on that. And that's why you heard that popping, because the other day I made an adjustment to it, because just by ear, I made an adjustment. And so I went from my standard setting to what my ear told me to do. And I screwed it up.
You going back to standard then?
My ear and the dynos suck. My butt really tells me what's going on. And my butt didn't like what was happening today.
I'm sure that line is pretty popular on Grinder.
Have the most sensitive butt in the business.
What is Grinder?
Tender, but
for old people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
There we
Gotcha.
go. Okay.
Right. Got it. We got a caller. Hold on a second. You gonna bring him in?
Yeah. Bringing him in right now.
George,
I think I'm here.
welcome to the Seat Sim's Hot Seat Hotline. How are you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing awesome. You really wanted to call.
No, I didn't want to call, but I couldn't post something. You know that guy's clutch issue about not disengaging?
Yes.
Yeah. So, if something's not warped in there, I wonder if 2 gaskets under that slave cylinder would do it. Like one of them sticks really good and you just pop another one on when you take it off. It would shim that thing out just a little bit.
But you don't want to shim it out because it's pushing.
No, I'm saying that's a problem. Maybe somebody put an extra.
Oh, maybe somebody has an extra gasket on there. That's
and shimmed it out. Or
that's
something,
a possibility too.
I know those things can stick really good to one side.
Yeah,
and if you're not paying attention, you can slip another one on there.
And I believe that some of those are actually metal to metal seal with an O-ring around the cylinder, even though there are gaskets for them.
Right.
So,
right. Or somebody might have put a gasket on, even though it didn't need it.
Correct. Rep.
It had the O-ring.
That's a good thing. So you couldn't post because are you in Facebook jail?
Well, that's what I wondered. And then I opened a new browser and, got back on to your show. And that's when I thought, well, let me see, what can I put up? Test, I said, can I call in? And it actually took. So I really didn't want to call in.
You really didn't want to call in. Well, it's okay. You're costing.
Now that I know that it costs you money.
You're costing Matt 3 cents a minute.
Yeah. Time is money here, George.
Yeah. Time is money. 3 cents a minute.
We're at 6. We're at 6 cents right now.
Yeah. On you.
Hey, I don't know if you worked out the gift thing on there where you made it easy.
Oh, the gift.
Gift in the lessons, but can you hear me still?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So anyway, what I did the other day to a friend, he's got a couple young kids. I just tapped him on the shoulder, handed him 220s, and I texted him the link to where he could go in and set up a login.
Right.
Have his kids watch, that stuff. But I'm telling you got to get Matt on that gift button so I can just pop a gift on there, pop my credit card in, and then put in somebody's email and send it to them.
Well, you know how that works, George, is whoever that we have to use a gift service, and then they're going to get like $20 a gift. And then, so we're going to get nothing out. Yeah, it's his job, but he's thinking about bigger and better
things. Like the Sheldon Cooper of this stuff.
What's a Sheldon Cooper?
That's a smart kid.
I am not I'm not Sheldon Cooper of this stuff.
So he's a smart kid.
Oh, he's like extremely smart. He was like in college.
I'll tell you what,
8 years old.
Distracted because I've seen some of his pages and stuff. He's distracted with other things.
Oh, Matt is.
Yeah, that's rumor on the street is.
Yeah, George actually fired me off a picture of you kissing a girl with purple hair.
Oh,
yeah. Don't let these kids know you're doing that because is purple hair cool?
No,
it's not.
No.
Yeah, see, you're old.
Yes, I am old.
Yep, that's. I don't have. The funny thing is now Heather's going to send me a picture and she's going to have purple hair and I'm going to be in trouble. So where are you at, George? Okay,
well, I'm glad you guys are out there having fun. I am up in Montana conducting a motorcycle test experiment.
Okay.
Because, I use those lock and load bike holders in the back of my fifth wheel where you go in there and compress the suspension down via the foot pegs to hold the bike in place.
Yep.
Those are dope.
You familiar with that?
Uh-huh.
And neither one of my bikes have been let out of that compression jail since I've got here. I'm looking through the back of my toy hauler right now.
So what's that been? 6 weeks or a month or more?
Oh, yeah, 'cause we had that
Nevada?
because we had a spring expert tell us that would not cause any problems whatsoever.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave them like that and see if I notice anything, although I wouldn't notice anything either.
Right. Well, we'll just bring it over here and we'll park it next to mine because they're the same bikes as mine. At least the 300s are the kind of the same. And we'll see if it's like shrunk, kind of like you.
Well, I hope it feels the same, but it's lower to the ground. That would be great for me.
Well, then you can get a taller Seat Concept seat since you're on the Seat Concepts Hot Seat
go.
Hotline.
There we go.
How do you like how I did that?
There you go.
So,
Which we will be shutting
Cool.
down the hotline after this call.
right on. Yeah. So that's
Okay.
thanks for being our second caller ever, George. And we will.
I will try and shoot over there to see a TourTech rally because that's not real far from where I'm at.
Hey, if you
and we'll
can,
see what happens.
if you want to swing over to the other side of Wyoming / South Dakota, I have a whole bunch of meat. I have a half of a cow that's sitting over there that I could use to get delivered. Maybe we can coordinate something. And
I'm going to be in North Dakota next week, so yeah, call me.
okay,
later,
we'll
so.
get it worked out. I had lots of problems here, and you're lucky that your motorhome was not parked where it was because I was doing figure eights today. Cletus here can vouch for this. He doesn't know how to water.
What? I learned.
You learned, but I went in there pretty hot, and your motorhome might have been a victim.
Oh, you're spraying, or you just launch through the fence? Slinging mud?
Yeah, it could have been close. Just let's leave it at that. Though there's luckily there's no video. so,
Okay, I don't want to break the bank on this call.
No, you're not.
okay, thanks a lot, George. We will talk to you in the near future.
Bye.
Okay. So it's time for our nightly break where I go figure out what product we're going to tell you about that we were testing. We get ready to do Rooster Endo, and then we will try to get to the rest of the calls.
Questions.
But the good thing is Richard Cody is now. This is how influential
There we
we
go.
are.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's asking for desert racing. I'd much better off with something like a YZ450X versus a WR450F, or really any of the MX adjacent cross country bikes with the 5 speeds versus a 6-speed cross country bike.
So this is actually a really good question. So for desert racing, a wide ratio transmission is a huge benefit, especially when the desert races have a wide variety of speeds. In other words, really high speeds and then maybe some really technical sections. The good thing about the YZ450 FX for sure is that it does have a 5-speed transmission, but it is the best of the we'll call them semi-wide ratio 5-speed transmissions. It goes plenty fast in 5th and it goes plenty slow in 1st. This is what makes that bike really good. The KTM 450, the transmission, the 5-speed transmission is the same as the SX, just I think it's geared differently, final drive. And so you're going to suffer on one end or the other on that bike. And we've actually complained about that, and we actually on the site have a way to show you how to make it into a 6-speed, and I think you can still do that on the more current models. Trevor Hunter would know this a lot better than I do, but that's kind of the things. But I know Beta makes a true 6-speed on their big bores, and so there's lots of kind of discussions about this, but having a wider ratio, and your Husky, and if you have the E version, the XCW or the E version or the EXC version of the KTMs, you're in really good shape. Although over time those transmissions have gotten a little bit more narrow, and I have not been a fan. And there's a reason why when I go do rallies, I ride my 2014 to 2016 bikes as a preference over my newer bikes, especially when I know we're going to be having a big varied speed difference from 1st to 6th. So
one more question, but
Lucas
and then we'll go to ad break after this.
Stanos.
Remove the air filter and notice fuel was coming out the intake side. Would spray back towards the air filter. Ever experienced this before?
Lucas, what do we talk about what bike this was?
Maybe he can comment again.
Yeah.
The comment is from a little bit ago, so hopefully he's still in the
earlier.
chat.
I thought was he one that said he was on a Husaberg?
No, that was
a different guy. So Lucas, okay, here's a couple things I've seen before. I've seen people have their carburetors cleaned, and the ding dong that cleaned it popped out the spray jet nozzle and popped it back in, not knowing that it is directional. And so he says, scroll up.
Scroll up. It's your job.
He was saying scroll up to get to his other question.
Same guy, 2 bikes.
Same guy, 2 bikes. Yeah.
I don't see his. Right there.
Let's see. Remove the seat. Okay.
SWM.
Austrian Bergs. Okay. Bring back the Husaberg seats. Yeah. So I told you he has a Husaberg.
He's making us find it.
The Husaberg is fuel injected. Oh no, he has the older. He was talking about the FE 550 or something like that. Anyways, if it's a carbureted bike, your accelerator pump nozzle could be turned in there backwards, or it's squirting so hard so early and not aimed properly that it's squirting up against the slide and it's splashing and looking like it's coming back. If you're on a fuel injected bike, sometimes that can be normal, based on how you're doing it and what you're seeing because of the kind of the valve overlap and a little bit of spray, but it really shouldn't be that much. But that is not normal. It should not squirt gas out of the back up into the air filter. That's a fire hazard, by the way, if it's done, especially at low RPMs where it's not sucking it all immediately back in. That's a big fire hazard. So, okay, with that, we're going to go ahead and take a couple of minute break. Hey, watch our commercials. Enjoy our sponsors, and the sponsors would be Yamaha, Taco Moto, Fasst Company, Flex Handlebars, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, Trail Tech, and Seat Concepts. Of course, always click through our Amazon links and our Rocky Mountain MC links, and we will see you on the other side of this commercial. Have you ever seen any one of my bikes? They all have Flex handlebars on them. What are those, Jimmy? Well, Fasst Company, that's www.fastco.com, makes the Flex handlebar, and it's essentially suspension built into your handlebars. They make bad forks good. They absorb impacts like you wouldn't believe, and they're really tough. And I've been running them for over 20 years, and I don't think I've ever bent a set. And if I have, I forgot about it. It was a long time ago. So these are American-made products, and until you run them, you won't realize how good they are. The reason this works is the Flex handlebar is stiff laterally through the steering path, but allows it to be forgiving from the load path without sacrificing control or input. This means it basically dampens the forces that you don't want, and it doesn't affect the forces you do want. So it steers properly and takes the pain out of your wrists. So if you're looking for good feel in your handlebars without suffering from catastrophic impacts or complaining that your forks are too harsh, the Flex handlebar is the solution. They make other products like the spoke torque wrench, impact pegs, really trick brake clevis and brake spring kits, and clicker adjusters. So if you're looking to get some of this stuff, check out www.fastco.com. That's spelled FASSTCO.com. Remember, 2 S's in fast.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text, and it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto Co. branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it, to look for weaknesses and to improve it, or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden and raced, and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.
Since 2009, Seat Concepts has been dedicated to making the best aftermarket seats. More comfort, more grip, more riding. For 10 years, we've continued to raise the bar. Innovation and American craftsmanship make Seat Concepts the world-leading manufacturer of power sports seats.
And we're back, right?
Yeah, you're back.
You push the buttons?
I pushed the buttons.
We're back. Logan's back sitting here watching us. You want to join us, Logan? You want to come over and, sit next to us and be on the show? No? No?
Do you want to come be producer?
Well, the good thing is he's in his underwear, so it's probably good that he isn't on the show.
His underwear looks a lot like jeans, though.
Yeah.
It's pretty long underwear.
Right. So we're going to get to this part of the show brought to you by tacomoto.co. If you need something for your bike, and especially if it's a KTM, but now they do a lot of Honda products as well, a lot of tunes, a lot of parts, a lot of concoctions, putting things together. Tacomoto.co is a great place to go. They have a little bit of everything. And I can tell you what, I recommend that funnel. I'm a big fan of the funnel. And if you're trying to build up a proper trail pack, especially for a KTM, a fuel injected KTM, and you want to have the ability to check your to transfer fuel, they make some cool stuff. They have some of the capacitor things if your battery goes bad to be able to restart. There is a lot of cool stuff there. You can go to tacomoto.co, check their website, lots of cool stuff, and they are bringing you Roost or Endo. And this is the segment where, what do?
We rate dirt bikes.
B-rate dirt bikes, okay.
Or just see how cool they are.
See how cool they are.
Yeah.
So the way it works is you send us a picture of your bike. I want to know the make, model, and year because I can't guess everything. And then we will discuss the modifications, the things you've done to it. And at the end of it, we usually, what do we go through? 5 or so of them? 5 a show?
5 a show.
We go through 5 a show.
We do have quite a queue lined up, but please submit your bike and it will get featured.
Right. Unless you bribe me, they don't go right to the front of the line.
Right.
And by bribe me, I mean, I think the best way to bribe me is that now there's something on the Facebook or something where you can push a button. It looks like a $sign. Just make sure it goes to me.
Right.
Right. Or just book me on Grindr. However you do it. So it's like OnlyFans, right, Matt?
Oh, no. OnlyFans.
I'm not there yet.
Dude,
you don't have my page built.
Oof,
I do not have your page built because I do not want to scar the rest of the world.
Thank you, Matt.
I am doing the world a service.
Right. Okay, Logan. When the number 1 won't do it, number 2. You get to do it. Okay. So we can maybe get you up to the front of the thing, but this is where you send us a picture of your bike. I tend to get a little picky about the pictures. And I'm looking at the pictures right now and I see some nice pictures, but shoot us a nice picture of your bike so we can look at it, analyze it, talk about it. And, it provokes some interesting discussions. We are getting straight away starting with who?
Colin Knightley.
Colin Knightley.
He's
Is it Colin or Colin?
Oh, yeah.
A colon is a part of your body.
Okay, so Colin.
Right. Okay, Colin.
Mirror on the hill. Practice, improve your skill. It's a 2015 Huska 501S.
I didn't know you were such a poet.
That was all him. I just had to read it. FMF slip-on, bileless flash ECU, fork springs, and a Dale Sogio ray kit. Did I say that right?
A Del Saggio ray kit. I don't know that ray is the right word for that, but there's a kit for the suspension.
It's got typical protection parts, SC seat, LED bulb, grip heaters, sometimes a Cherubies 4.1 gallon tank.
A Cherubies. That's good.
Swap over to Supermoto. Wrap 9 wheels, bearings, rotor, and caliber.
Bergamo?
Oh my God. SMR Frontmaster. Brimo.
Warp 9. What'd you say? Wrap?
Where?
What'd you call that? What'd you say? I think you said wrap.
Oh, Warp 9.
Yeah, Warp 9
wheels. Is that
Okay, this is a full winner on the picture, by the way. Put that picture back up.
That looks dope.
That's a nice picture.
Well, that's why he said mirror, mirror.
So A+ on the picture, bro. That's good. He gave us make, model, and year.
Yep.
Which is really good.
But look what kind of seat he's got. Seat concepts.
He's got a C concept seat.
Supermoto.
That's good.
Possibilities.
I'm not seeing this right now, and I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Okay.
I saw it on the. I heard it could go to a supermoto bike, but
Yeah.
it's a nice bike. I think he's got it set up pretty good. I think he's got a lot of the things. He's got all the things that most people have on it. He's out riding it. Look at that. That's I
like that photo.
That photo is really nice. This roost, this just straight up, it's a good roost. So we'll make sure we get it up there on the roost side of the board. A pen.
It's okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Damn.
we'll just stick them up there like that for right now. That way they stand out. We had Logan this week. One of your chores was to fix up the rooster endo board. It looks nice. Yep. Next.
This is from Robert. Close up on Z plate.
Oh, I don't take that. You got to give me this. I don't know.
2013 F800 GS loaded for bear and heading for beautiful British Columbia from the NWT May 2016.
Okay, so I am not a fan of this particular bike. Just it's one of those bikes that, you know how I bag on certain bikes like KTM 690, Husky 701s, those things. This is another one of these bikes that's kind of just in the middle because I am a BMW 1200 GS fan. So right now you're going up a really steep hill. And you've got this thing really, really loaded. Like you're definitely going to bear, and probably heard me say this before. I'm not a big fan of the tank bags, but if you have that much stuff on the back, are you moving? Is it the end of the month and you got out of your place and you're moving someplace and you're taking all your stuff with you?
Life on wheels.
That's a lot of stuff. And then like I said,
is that a gas can in the back?
Oh yeah, he's got a roto pack in the back. It looks like two of them actually, if I view correctly. But so you're going up this steep hill right now, in a lot of ways. You know, it's a we're gonna call it a. I should know this kind of stuff. I supposedly studied journalism when I was a kid. Yeah, but whatever. I'm gonna make a comparison, an analogy. I'm making an analogy about this steep hill that he's going up, and then I looked at the tires. And I'm like, I hope you're riding pavement because I'm even scared about the little bit of dirt you're going to go on between there and the pavement you're going to hit. And then I started thinking to myself, no, he's not moving. He's a professional snowboarder and he just broke up with his girlfriend and now he's homeless. and that's why all of his stuff is on his 800 GS and he's going to where? Canada.
He says he's loaded for bear.
And headed to beautiful British Columbia.
Yep.
Yeah. So NWT. I think that's a trail.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know, or a trail or some sort of a ride. Good on you. I hope that's all paved. I would get some more aggressive tires. Absolutely 100% for sure. Looking at the license plate, it almost looks like a Canadian license plate as well, but I can't tell. Because if he's from America, I was going to warn him that if he goes to Canada, that all the people there they live underground and they have little beady eyes, and when they come out, don't let them ride your motorcycle because they'll loop it out. It's proven. I have proof that they're really nice people. They laugh at your jokes. They're happy. They're fun. I like them, but don't let them on your motorcycle because even if you're just trying to be a nice guy and say, hey, try my bike, don't let them on it because they'll loop it out. Endo. Are you with me on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, we usually are high praise for adventure bikes, but the wrong tires. I like better treads.
This next one's from David Wheeler.
David Wheeler.
He's got Get ECU, Pro Moto Billet and Cap, Fast Man suspension, lowering and revalve, C Concepts, ODI grips, AXP Racing skid plate, Giant Loop Moto bags,
Oh, you got to slow down. Logan is totally struggling. You should see what the show is doing right now.
Oh, sorry.
It's going off the rails, out of bounds.
It was going out of bounds.
He's moved out of bounds.
He's under the close.
We're sitting there, and now he's got David in reverse. You've put David on the other side of the world. That's okay. You just took him from America to Canada, but that's okay. We don't care.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Just zoom that thing in and careful with your drag and drops.
I think that's a cool photo.
That's another nice photo.
They're getting better at this.
Yeah, it's hard to see his bike, so he's probably hiding a disc protector, knowing him.
No, it's pretty free up there.
Okay, yeah, it's a little airy. I can't see, it's so small, but that's okay. I'm sure most people are watching this on their phone, Logan. And usually by now in this part in the show, they've fallen asleep, so you can screw up like that. But get the black line off to the side on the back thing there for us.
Oh.
Okay, keep going. Back to the.
He's got Super Spox sprockets, Enduro Engineering handguards, Trail Tech radiator guards, and hashtag wife moral support.
Well, I like the Trail Tech guards. Not good on the sprocket, although those are okay sprockets.
Run DDC.
Run DDC. Hey, DDC supports off-road riding. They have been a longtime supporter of this show. Actually, our first sponsor. And that's good. You can see them creeping out there. These are really nice stainless steel sprockets. So if you are in need of some chain wheels, check out DDC. That's ddcracing.net. So, but back to David Wheeler's bike. Good photo.
Yeah, that photo is cool.
But one big fail. He hashtagged the crap out of this.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hashtagger.
He's trying to get it trending.
Oh, it's trending.
Yeah.
Did he send this in a Twittergram post or something? No,
I think it was Facebook, but I could be wrong.
Did it get an email? I don't know.
100% sure.
I don't know. He didn't tell us what kind of bike it was. I'm confused now.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah,
I know.
He went straight into the hashtags.
He didn't. Yeah, he hashtagged the crap out of it. He should hashtag what kind of brand. I know it's a KTM, and I'm seeing a 500 EXC that actually looks lowered. Believe it or not.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, he said lowered?
Yes, suspension lowering.
See how I know this and I don't even know? So, boy, if you just blatantly break the rules, this would be like saying it'd be like going to your first Moran race and you go there and you show up and you sign up and you pay there and then you just don't go to the start line. But then you go ride, after the start goes off, you go ride. So you're almost taking Nate's advice, but you didn't follow the rules quite right.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. So, Endo.
Party too hard.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. Not at your age, right?
No, I'm saying there's national right now. There was a couple guys that didn't even come out there toy hauler the next morning. This next one's
or were
from,
you chasing around Logan's girlfriends?
No. This next one's from Alexander O's.
Alexander O's. Was it? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's a 2017 FE 501.
So I've noticed that we have a lot of Supermoto style guys. So we're talking to the Supermoto crowd. Do I need to start?
Maybe get Scott on.
He says
He knows how to talk to them, right?
Oh, maybe we should call him and see if he knows some Supermoto words that he could throw. Because evidently I killed Supermoto.
Is Supermoto making a comeback? I think I see it.
I think they're dope.
I mean, I tell you what, I'm not going to kid you. Like riding a bike like this is so much fun in a parking lot. Let's just put it this, on a parking lot or on a back road where there's absolutely no traffic where you're not going to get killed.
Yeah.
Because you will start riding this bike in ways that if there's other people around, you know how when you're on your dirt bike and you're out just like, hooligan, right? You're really, you're having fun. You're sending it. Generally, there's not someone coming the other direction, or it's just the likelihood. I mean, yeah, the trails are getting busy and you can have head-ons and stuff like that. But for the most part, you're kind of safe from just ordinary traffic and people and stuff. And that is the difficult thing with the Supermoto bikes. Although look at this thing. It does not have a license plate on it. So I imagine he's doing some sort of racing. But if you've ever done Supermoto racing, I'm not going to kid you. It is really, really fun. And the bikes are insane. And like compared to like a road racing bike, it, since you're familiar with the dirt bike sitting on the style, the handling characteristics of the bike, it allows you to really learn a lot about traction and how stuff works. So in that, I like Supermoto. The fact that this is dirt bike test and there's no knobbies on the bike, all of a sudden we're in a different category. But go ahead. This bike does look sharp, though.
He says, luckily, I'm just about out of good mods to buy because the current parts list is far too long to write here.
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm looking at the radiator shrouds and stuff. So I think this is an older Husky. So 17, yeah. And
yeah, it looks like he's got cool pegs. I can't see that.
I think he's got those Fastway ones with the ones that kind of hang back. So when you over jump the triple, you don't blow your Achilles tendon out.
Well, that's cool.
And I don't know why you would need that on a Supermoto bike. So I think
for like tricks.
I think he was running out of things to buy, and he just had to get another thing. But I'm looking kind of closely at that thing. Does he have a carbon front disc?
I think they're oversized.
I know they're oversized, but it is a carbon.
I don't know.
It looks almost like a carbon disc. I can't really tell because it's all dark and black. But he's got his handlebars out in outer space.
Yes.
Yeah, those things are up there.
Yeah, it's out there. But it looks like a nice Chariot. But since it's a Supermoto bike, straight to endo. until we modify our rules or our tastes, and not super stoked on the photo, by the way. Although I know you rolled out of your living room to put it out on the porch, and I'm sure your wife was happy about that, but, or maybe this bike is your girlfriend and, you brought her right back in.
This next one's from Robert. It's a 2022 KTM 500 EXCF. Takamoto Get ECU with Wi-Fi, Graves slip-on exhaust, HDB mount, seat concept seat, quad lock system. My first bike in almost 15 years, and I couldn't be happier. Grew up racing motorcycles, and this is basically an MX bike that's street legal.
That is a nice Chariot.
Dang, that thing is clean.
Yeah.
SC1 spray everywhere.
Almost too clean. But pride of ownership shows in this bike. Hey, Logan, how did you make all the pictures backwards? Like, I've never seen Matt do this.
I'll fix it.
You'll fix it? You're going to fix this one?
Yeah.
I want to see this.
A second.
Yeah, it takes a second. We're going to do this while we analyze this guy's bike. This is really nice. It almost looks like he actually took the picture at a good time to get nice light on it. Because notice there's no hot spots or flares on it. There's some.
He knows how to take a photo.
Little bit knows how to take the photo. Yeah, or there's some flash. There might be some flash involved.
Yeah, because look at the front fender.
Right. Little concerned. I'm a little concerned with the tires.
Yeah, they're pretty round.
Yeah, if we had a tire sponsor, I would go off on this guy really, really, really hard.
C-Marsh says it's stock tires. No bueno.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm on the same thing. I mean, but you never know. And stock mirrors too, because there's some really nice double take mirrors available for that thing. That's another sweet mod, because then you can knock them out of the way, and then your bike looks like a motocross bike. And then when you need them for the cop, you pull them up on the street.
It kind of looks like a little bug.
Yeah. Yeah, with the extra mirrors and stuff on it. And then he's got the rim tapes on there too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, C-Marsh he's right down my road too. Lousy tires in the BMW, according to George. So we're all picking up on the same things here. So if you're just watching this segment and go, what am I getting out of Jimmy Lewis here belittling all the nice people that submitted bikes to the show? And we're giving you advice that if he's riding this thing back and forth to work and trying to, doing a lot of street work with it and very little off-road, those tires are actually going to do a pretty good job. But if you're going to get this thing muddy, and I think you need to, let's go with a little bit more aggressive tires. And now we come to the point in the thing where we decide who gets our.
I'm liking Colin's photo.
Well, don't you need to rate that one? And then
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm like torn. I'm torn on this one too.
Middle of the road.
Roosted.
It's middle of the road. I think it's more. It's so close with the tires and the mirrors. The only things I can really pick on this thing. and he seems like he's done his research with all the Moto stuff, which is, again, sponsor of the show, sponsor of the segment. But it all comes down to how Jimmy's feeling, isn't it? It's a roost. I think.
Roost in it.
I mean, in all honesty, it comes down to.
You got this.
I don't know if I can do this. I'm not that good. You do that. I got to talk into some microphone, keep the show going. I'll tell you how to keep the show going. So I'm having my Ragosa in this really nice Himalayan glass. I'm just really trying to deflect from what we're supposed to be doing, which is make a decision about the. I have a couple of different reasons. Should we just debate it out loud?
Well, what's your top two? Or do you have more than that?
I think I'm three.
Top three?
I think there's three. I have three of the five.
Names?
No, I don't remember the names. I could tell you which
I could probably
the bike it is. So for sure,
those three.
For sure, Colin's bike is super sweet.
David Wheeler's too.
Well, no, Colin's bike is super sweet and has a nice photo. And he told us what kind of bike it was.
Yep.
David forgot to tell us what kind of bike it is.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So that kind of goes off. That kind of goes off the chart. I like that.
This was the street moto, the supermoto.
I really like that he told us what kind of bike it was and said he modified so much crap. I'm not going to make you read it off. I like that, but then again, I don't like the tires. And then I'm going to go back to I got to keep a theme here. So I don't like the tires. And I was actually thinking since he submitted it, he was ballsy enough to submit a GS adventure bike. I was going, hey, let's give it to him, because we don't discriminate. Except when you don't have knobby tires on your bikes, then we get a little bit, then we're a little bit judgy. So okay, he goes in the thing. So right now we're between Colin
and Robert.
Kalani
was Robert. Robert's the one with the clean bike.
He's a super clean bike. Is he Hawaiian?
It's the middle name.
Yeah, the Hawaiian is it's a little bit of that, and the green, all that green in the photo. Pop that photo back up, Logan. As I pour myself a little bit more of this.
It's quite a bit green.
It looks really green. That looks jungly like Hawaii. And here's the thing.
So that's probably why it's street legal.
Well, you need it. And I'll tell you what, if it's either Hawaii or probably the Pacific Northwest. And the other reason I'm going, because all the Hawaiians move to the Pacific Northwest. There's a lot of them up there. But anyways, and here's how I'm going to make this decision right now. If you're in the Pacific Northwest or you're in Hawaii and you go off-road, the ground and the dirt is really slippery and you need better tires than that, and we're on a tire kick, Colin Knightley.
Colin had the dopest photo.
He had the dopest photo. Let me see if I can see his tires. Oh, man. Because I know it's already zoomed in, but they do look like knobbies. They look like verified. I'm calling this verified knobbies right now. How much can we zoom that thing in there, Logan, to see if...
those are knobbies.
Those are knobbies.
Oh, yeah.
He wins. You're winning on thing of knobbies. Colin, get in touch with us. Email matt@jimmylewisoffroad.com or however you contacted us. Let us know that you won, and we will get you that $100 gift certificate from Moto. And so all the other guys, go through our link at Rocky Mountain ATV MC and get yourself a set of tires, some knobbies for your bikes. And then if you resubmit them and tell us that you put knobbies on them and resubmit them, and maybe I'll let you back in. I don't know. Maybe Matt will let you back in. He's the keeper of all this stuff. So again, thank you for submitting the photos and stuff. Like I said, we got a little bit of a list going right now, but we're going to get to all of them eventually. And I really do like seeing all your motorcycles, even if I bag on them just a little bit. Right. Okay. What's next?
We still got some questions to go through if you want to do that.
Oh, Robert Lambert says Starcross 6 better than all. Robert, I haven't ridden with it. They actually they sold out of every 18-inch tire that they had because we were trying to get some for a bike test that we were doing. So I haven't had the chance to ride them. Trevor Hunter has ridden them on a motocross track. I think his review is up on Dirt Bike Test, and so he can tell you what. I would actually Kenda Parker DT them all.
I like those
tires.
tires.
Kenda is a sponsor of my riding schools and been helping me out for a long time. So that's why I say that. Full disclosure. Okay.
Questions on the way out on the sheet.
Yeah. So Chris Reel is asking, How would you jet a twin carb 1977 Husqvarna?
Number one, I didn't know that there was a twin carb in Husky in 1977. I did jet a twin carb Honda XR 200 and and that was an 84. And I think I jetted an 86 Yamaha TT 350 that had a twin carb. And those, the Honda was on a cable system. I don't think the second carb was vacuum operated, but I know on the Yamaha, the second carb was like vacuum operated. So they all kind of had their own little quirks and things. But if you're jetting a twin carburetor, it's just the one thing to remember, and this is just very simple. I like to keep it simple here. It's twice as difficult. Twice as difficult. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
So I don't know how that one works. Maybe Chris can let us know, because I've seen some that were what we call the old like Yankee style motors, where it was two carburetors with two slides that opened up at the same time. But since I'm not familiar with that, I can't give you the specific ways that how I would do it. But I could do it. I know I could do it, because you just have to. And this goes for any throttle carburetor throttle application. The best thing I've ever seen, or one of the things that helped me learn how to do this, was I actually marked my throttle. And so I marked my throttle 0, 25, 50, 75 wide open. I made marks on the grip and on the slide so I could see where it was. So it gave me an idea where I was in throttle position. And then I would hold it steady at those things in different gears.
Nice.
And I would, and the reason I did it in different gears, because the bike pulls differently when there's different loads on it. And so I would kind of go and hold it in those steady positions, and let it pull into the power and see how it got there. And I'd hold it and then see what it did. And then from there I would change it, I'd open it or close a little bit and kind of see what it did. So at least I knew what it was doing at certain positions. And by that, so right off the idle and stuff, that's your idle speed, air screw, fuel screw, depending on what kind of carburetor is, pilot jet. So that's all there. And then once you get to quarter, it's a factor of the needle and the main jet. So you have to kind of understand where you are in those positions. So the 25, 50, and 75% are all, the main jet will change everything, and the needle is a little more position sensitive. So I would work on that and kind of feel where it was. And then I would decide, okay, is it a main jet thing? Like, so when I go wide open, and that's usually under a load, or when I was steady throttle, that's more of a needle thing. It can be main jet, but it's needle. So there's lots of stuff you can do. And then there's nozzles, like on certain carburetors, like the Del Ordos. The nozzle was one of the most critical things in there. And that was something that I was told by a really good tuner. And I started changing nozzles, and that was almost like changing needles. So lots of stuff. So how would I do it? I would do it just like, I would use my method, and I would use my ass dyno, and I would go do some jetting runs, which is generally done on like level flat ground with good traction. And then I would get to a ballpark, and then I would go ride it like I normally rode it and see if anything stuck out as being rich, lean, needed some tuning, stuff like that. But Chris, I would rely on you're smart enough, you can do it. Wear gloves when you spill the gas all over your fingers. So in the picture, one carb is attached to the cylinder and the other directly to the bottom end. Oh, he must be talking about the Husky. Yeah, that would be, man.
Bad producing. Some producer meant to put this picture on that question.
Oh, there was a picture? Okay.
Bad producer.
Okay, right. That's okay. Somebody's still learning. Everybody's learning around here. I'm going to learn how to do a good podcast eventually. Next question.
Tony Reyes. On road, I learned to cover the clutch and brakes at all times with 1 or 2 fingers. Off-road, I have maintained the habit. But no one else in my riding group covers their levers off-road. Am I doing it wrong? Most of my group seem to go down more often, and I feel it's because they can't react as well to changing conditions.
So Tony, I feel that covering the clutch is a good technique. So having the two fingers on the clutch is a good technique. Even when I have my bikes that have recluses on, it's just a habit to have my fingers over the clutch, even though I never even touch it. I don't know that like them going down is a result of this, other than the classic one is the bike goes puka, it stalls, and then whatever way they're out of balance shows up very quickly because they don't have momentum anymore. So I don't, and it depends on how you're using the clutch. The way we like to teach the clutch is a power amplifier, not a power reducer, unless you're going slower than the gear you're in. So you want to go slower than first gear. Of course, you're going to have to slip the clutch. And then at some point, you're going to have your fingers up there doing this. If you have to take them off the bar and it's awkward for you to do this, or the clutch isn't set up properly, that'll stand out. So I think it's a good technique. It just depends on how you're using it. I know a lot of people are just constantly, they slip in the clutch, and then all of a sudden when something goes wrong, they tense up, and then they pull the clutch in without knowing they're pulling the clutch in, and then they don't have power, and it's hard to control. So I would just tell everybody that you're a better rider than them. And then actually the best thing you could do would be come to my class, and then all the stuff I just said would make way more sense. You think?
Yep.
Yeah.
In-person experience.
And then I'm for sure you'll be a better rider than anybody else in your group. And then the thing is, I want you to tell them all why you're a better rider, but you might want to keep a secret so that you can just, and just tell them it's because they're not putting their two fingers in the clutch, because it's really not what it is. That's really not the difference.
Yep.
Okay.
So Scott Zundel is asking, I know this is a joke, but would a two-stroke run at all without the reeds? Just curious.
At 1 RPM. It would be really hard for it to get started. I think you'd have to pulse, you'd have to get it going pretty fast, but there is an RPM where most two-strokes will run, but it wouldn't run very good. And the way you can tell this is, and you were talking about your bike having a bog, right?
Yeah.
But it still runs.
Yeah.
And we think that your reeds might be chipped or frayed or something like that. And so when they start getting chipped, they'll still run. Sometimes they just run poorly. They run better at high RPMs. Like once you get them revved up, they'll go. So the reeds just prevent a lot of they prevent the charge from getting pushed up into the expansion chamber. But if you can get the cycle going, it'll continue to kind of suck the gas in there, even though it's blowing it back into the carburetor. But Scott, I'm glad you knew that was my April Fool's joke. Was I talked about how to modify your two-stroke by taking the reeds out, because that's what everybody does in their four-stroke, because they think it gives them more power, which it does, but you lose drivability. Kind of like what taking the reeds out in the two-stroke would do. You might be able to get more power if you can get it revving up there, but who knows? So, okay. What's our next one?
This was off the Should You Lower Your Bike from Earth Surfer USA. I'm not sure if he's mad, but he starts off with bull hockey. Some bikes are just stupid tall, and I'm not getting used to it. It is a matter of physics for turning. My YZ250 two-stroke was just too tall. A terribly set up bike out of the box. Worst I ever had it. Out of 5 other 250s, MX bikes, getting used to it. Some people get used to prison too, or mass. Get smart enough to fix it. Sorry.
Okay, so let's just kind of let me just tackle the beginning of this.
There's quite a bit.
So, if you're telling me that lowering a current motocross bike, what year did he say? What year the YZ250 was? Just YZ. No, well, it hasn't changed since 2005, for the most part. But in fact, the little bit that they have changed it, they've kind of raised where you sit on the bike, because it handles better. It feels it's flatter, what we call flatter. I I think that most people that are in product development for the manufacturers and most people that ride bikes kind of understand this. And for sure, if you were building a bike that was only built to go around smooth turns, they would not be set up like a motocross bike. Now, most motocross tracks have bumps and turns, and therefore you need a certain amount of suspension travel and a lot of other stuff. So, yeah, we can argue about it, but I would promise you that if you start building bikes that go around smooth, flat turns better with like lowered seats and stuff like this, there would be some controversy. And you've noticed that there was a trend for a while to have what we call these stepped seats, which were lower down at the front. And it was mostly to keep the ride. So it was mostly to force the rider to sit forward more than it was to get them lower. It was so that they knew, but the thought was, yeah, but now we can also get them lower. They started finding out that maybe this wasn't the best to get to go the fastest around the turns. So, okay, keep going.
He said, do it right and it handles better, especially for cornering. RC had his bikes lowered pretty good into the corners, 15 championships and all on a lowered bike. Come on, guys. It has to be done well.
So the way that they lowered RC's bikes was by lowering the subframe. So actually bringing the back of the bike down. It wasn't lowering the seat height per se, because generally where the seat height is measured is at the lowest, closest place to the gas tank. But when you start looking at these bikes, the seat is actually relatively flat. On most bikes, they actually kind of kick up a little bit. And the reason is because it has so much rear suspension travel that they need the wheel to go. But when they start lowering it, the wheel starts running into the fender and the airbox, which can be problematic on a bike that isn't getting a new fender and a new airbox every weekend. But keep going.
He said, come on, guys. It has to be done well, but the damn bikes are too tall. I recently sat on a 2022 KX450 and a YZ250F, and I could touch the ground. Not so with the two-stroke YZs. One more thing. Watch the movie American Pie and listen to that little red-headed girl say, and one day in band camp, and stop talking like that, LOL. I think it's weird to hear so many people talk like that because my dad broke me off that habit 50 years ago when I was 8 by saying to me, are you asking me a question? You sound like you were asking me a question. And I never sounded like a silly redhead girl again. Oof.
I'm not sure what that has to do with seat height on motorcycles, but
he was like taking this personal.
I'm just guessing he's not 6 feet tall. Just kind of guessing. And at 5'10", I'm not short, but I'm not tall. And I'm glad you sat on those bikes, but was the sag set for you? Because a good trick in a dealership that knows they're selling to, we'll call them people that have different opinions about seat heights and stuff, is on the showroom floor, they back off the spring preload so that it's low. So when these people sit on the bike and I've watched this before because we get people like this that come to our school, they go sit on their bike and they sit back 6 inches on the seat, which is actually a taller part on the seat. And they want to touch the ground. They want to put both their feet down. They feel like that's important. I don't ride with my feet on the ground. I never want to put my feet on the ground ever. So I'm more worried about seat top to foot peg height as opposed to seat to ground. And when we used to measure bikes at Cycle World and measure bikes at Dirt Rider, one of the specs that everybody wanted to see was seat height. And we measured it with the proper sag set on the bike. And we were always, and I kid you this not, always above what was in the spec sheet. So if the spec sheet said 36.2, we're at like 36.4, 36.7 inches. And you know, I don't know if that's the right number. I don't remember the exact numbers, but you know, it was always higher because they always wanted to quote, it's a showroom bounce thing. And it's because people get on the bike and they want to put their feet on the ground and they figure it's like, I have a 32-inch inseam or a 30-inch inseam. I have a 30-inch inseam and they want to be able to touch the ground. It's like, you're not riding with your feet on the ground. Don't let that be a concern. And when you start lowering the bikes, when you do things like turn on motocross tracks and ruts, when you go through bumps and the bike starts suspension compresses, your foot pegs start hitting on the ruts. When you're riding through rocks or over logs and things like that, your frame rails are starting to touch. Lowering a bike is a big disadvantage off-road. They would actually make them taller if they could, but the reason they're as low as they are is because they want to get that weight down closer to the ground, and it has to do with center of gravity and handling and a lot of other stuff. So I'm sorry that you feel like a little redheaded stepchild because everybody is making motorcycles too tall for you. But I was thinking about this today, actually. You know how like they make different size frames in mountain bikes? It's really easy because the mountain bikes don't have a big giant motor in. But as we transition over to electric motorcycles, I think you're going to start seeing some different frame sizes available because the engine componentry isn't as sophisticated, in that you don't have to have this intake track that's well tuned or this exhaust system that's so well tuned. You're going to be able to manipulate where the seat is in relation to where the rest of the motorcycle is. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some options for like, kind of sort of that drop seat you see on mountain bikes, or having, the adjustability. Oh, and by the way, speaking of electric bikes, I heard that the Stark Varg information can be released. All the 50 media outlets that went over to ride the thing that took, what seems like 2 months, can be released on Friday. So expect this Friday. I think it's actually, it's Transgender Dog and Coyote Day, but it's going to be Stark Varg Day.
Interesting.
On the internets for motorcycle people. So I know you're going to be, if you're a dog or a coyote, and it's real important to be recognized as one or the other. But really, it's going to be Stark Varg Day on the internet, so you can read all about that. And it'll be really interesting to see where all of the quote influencers, because I don't like to call them journalists anymore, stand on this thing. Because I know a few of them. I've heard a few things about the bike and how it rode and different things, and some of the opinions were. And it's good because everybody's opinion, they're entitled to their opinion and stuff. Some of the opinions just came completely out of left field, and it's somebody who has no experience whatsoever on electric bikes. So all of a sudden they were just enamored by, electric, good or bad. And then some of the people weren't really that qualified to be kind of testing stuff in a high performance level. And so we'll never really know how it really performs at a higher level versus lower level. But I think collectively you can kind of be able to go through and see all these different opinions, and maybe grasp something. But my questions still are, like, how are they going to, if they had problems getting that many journalists through, it took that long to do all this, how are they going to deliver those bikes? I think they originally said, November? It was November 2020. I know some dealers that have signed up to do them, and they keep calling me like, "Hey, Jimmy, what do you think about this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't ridden it. I don't know. I've had no communication." I got an email of somebody I could call, and the person that I know that's like really on the inside won't talk to me about it because they know that I'll ask questions that they don't want to answer. And I don't care if I get invited to the intro or not. I want to get one and test it. I don't want to go there and get paraded around and who knows, I wasn't there, but obviously they couldn't handle more than one or two journalists at a time. And they did have gas bikes there for them to ride back to back. So
here, Logan, scroll up. There was another question.
It'll be interesting to see where that is.
Chris Garnett is asking a 2022 KTM 450 XFF, 32 hours. On cold starts after letting the bike idle for a few minutes, when I blip the throttle the first couple times, I get what appears to be some white smoke. After that, it seems to clear up. Once it's warm, I measure drain. Oh, where do you go? I measure drained oil, and it's within spec. I just bought a leak down test to check anyways. Any thoughts?
No problem. Don't worry about it. So if a bike with 32 hours on it, I wouldn't worry about it at all. So so it depends on how long it's been stopped for. It depends on how humid the air is around you. It could be, it could be something as simple as, just a little bit of oil leaking past the valve guide seals, a little bit of oil just getting past some of the rings. If it was an emissions bike, I would say it had actually gotten into the intake tract through the crankcase venting hose, and then it just sucking it back in. But if actually, have you see how little oil you put into a 2-stroke and how much smoke comes out? You're pouring in 100 cc's, which isn't much, and the bike will smoke the whole time you ride it, right? Mm-hmm. So this thing's smoking a little bit. That's such a minuscule amount of oil, you will not be able to trace it. It takes a bike that smokes pretty good burning oil, like it's getting past the rings or whatever, to make a significant dent in the oil consumption. Like a car has to smoke pretty bad before it's, quote, using oil. So I wouldn't worry about this at all. The fact that you're starting it up and warming it up. So
I would personally say I know Chris Garnett. Yeah. I think it's the lack of riding he does, So
the bike sits for a while between rides.
Never even wants to ride.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Did he offer you to take his bike? Because you'll ride it for him, right?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Stark. So TW Hicks says he has a Stark Varg. One is shipping to Pahrump to him.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. If TW, if you're getting it, did they tell you you're getting a toolkit too? Because that was a friend of mine pre-ordered one, and he didn't hear anything, and they're like, then he emailed him. He's like, hey, I haven't heard anything. He got back something. It's like, you're getting a free fuel kit or a toolkit. And he's like, okay, when is it? Stark Varg is the Tesla Roadster of motos. Yeah. I think it's the Cannondale story of the 2020s is my guess. And like I said, early in the show, I said something good about Cannondale after riding them and testing them for a long time. You saw where that thing went. Yeah. Where's the question mark?
KX250 or CRF 250R?
Oh, question mark is the guy's name.
Yeah.
KX250F, like 4-stroke, or CRF 250R. Question mark, you should go to dirtbiketest.com because Trevor has a really good review with a lot of videos about all of the 250F. He's actually talked about the off-road bikes, but they're kind of the same. They hold the same characteristics and stuff. And we had a wide variety of riders ride them, and there's some pretty good opinions out there. But between those two bikes, red or green? So I would ask
red
or green. I tell you what, I've ridden both of the 2022s, and I wouldn't say that one is better than the other. I think if you're looking for something with a little more meaty power on the bottom and mid, I would go with the Kawasaki. And if you're looking for a lighter handling characteristic, I would go with the Honda. So, oh yeah. So Seymour says, meaning it will be promised but delayed. That makes sense too. I don't see how they're going to meet their production goals. I just don't. No. I don't see it. If they were going to be releasing those bikes in November or December, they should have more than one or two of them for journalists to ride currently. And yeah, there's a lot of supply chain issues going on. This is normal. So yeah, it's going to be difficult, but I'm still, they came out and set the bar really, really high. And if they came out and said, hey, we're making a really nice electric motorcycle, you would ride it and be very, very impressed with it, I think. But they basically came out and said, we're going to build the best motocross dirt bike known to man, is the way I got their thing. And that's a tough thing to live up to. And it'll be interesting to see, because it's coming with a whole bunch of new technology and a lot of stuff that's just going to be just plain and simple resisted by the majority. The majority of people are not going to give up their gas burning.
Yep.
454 strokes and jump on the electric bandwagon unless that thing is everything that they promised and it does all the things that they say it's going to do.
Yep.
They said it, not me. it has to, since they said it, it has to do all those things. That's the way I would judge it, you know? And I sure as heck, I mean, maybe they needed to excite their investors, you know, to get the investors motivated. They needed to generate some buzz.
They're promoting trick.
Yeah, they're going to get a whole lot of buzz. They got a whole lot of buzz. I mean, they got a whole lot of pre-orders in that thing, and good for them. I in all honesty, I hope it's as good as they say, because I would love to be able to ride a bike like that, but I'm skeptical. You know, I've seen this happen before. I've been around this industry for a long time, and there's a couple different. You don't see, you know, if you don't see, you know, Honda, Yamaha, KTM, you know, Suzuki and Kawasaki. Kawasaki released an electric bike today.
Oh, they did.
Oh, it's a little tiny kiddo. They call it
a Strider, or is it an actual dirt bike?
They call it a electrocycle or something like that. Little kid's bike. It's like a Strider.
Is it the same thing like what Honda did, where they just kind of let another company build it?
I don't know. No. Didn't get that deep into the press release, but it's coming. I think the smart money is to start building them smaller. Learn about your customer. Let the battery technology and the controller technology evolve. You know, right now they've got motors. The electric motors are amazing, but let the battery and the controller technology evolve, so that it can work. But we'll see. Good time. So Friday, get your internets ready. So I will do my broadcast on. I can't because I didn't do it. Didn't write it. Don't know anything about it. But I might actually be bothered to listen to see what some of the people said. So, because I'm curious as well. I'm really curious, and then I read between the lines, and I can see the guys is like, oh, they want to get invited back over to go to Europe, or they're just hedging their bets, so that they can get one here to test and whatnot. And I hope to be able to get one here, but I can't even get a Sherco.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because they sell every one of them. They don't need anybody to tell them how good they are, if they're good or bad. So.
Do you want to talk about something you are testing, though?
Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to talk about something I'm testing. So this is our dirt bike test, product test of the night. I'm going to talk about Climb's Edge Goggle. How's that? Yeah. So full disclosure, Climb is a sponsor of the show, and so is Scott. So I've got competing sponsors.
Oh, you're not supposed to do this, I guess.
No, I can do this. And here's the thing that the companies that work with me know. They know I'll do it. They know that it's like, so I've been wearing this lately, mostly because I got some snowboard goggles that were like this. They were like, a snowboard brand goggle, and look at this lens. Bang, lens is out.
Oh, that is dope.
Yeah, that's lens out. And so I'm not a big change the lens all the time guy. I find the lens I like. So I really like currently I really like the Scott's light transition lenses. Before that I had Pro Grip goggles that had the best light transition lenses. I kept telling Scott this. I go, you got to check these things out. They did. No fog and light transition. And so I got the Climb ones. These ones, I did some photos with them. And I said, man, those things look cool. Matt knows. I think your goggle is this.
I think it is.
It's the Edge goggle.
The Edge. I just never had a need to take the goggle off because it's been so bright yet.
So,
Those are the ones you wore today, right?
Yeah, I was wearing them today. I was wearing them with the dark lens. And so if you want to put the new lens in, and it's funny because you have to know left from right to be able to pop it back in, because you're supposed to hold it to one side or the other. But I should actually put the lens on the right way.
There you go. Yeah.
Left to right or up and down?
Well, I know up and down, because down is where I hit my head, and up is where this podcast is going. Up and up and up. So the lens is back in. That was it. So I, without really even paying attention to it, and so you pull it on the one side. I think it's the right side you pull it, and it has these real ingenious magnets and hooks. So that's the wrong side. So I go in like this. I should have read my left and my rights and popped it in. And that's it. Done. So now I have clear lens.
Faster pit stop.
Well, yeah, I guess you could probably, if it was dusty.
Yeah, they could throw you just a lens.
They go like that and go like this and like that, and it's in. And so I was worried that it wasn't going to be fastened in and stuff like that, but it has foam. So the lens has a good foam seal around it. And they seem to be, no fog. Actually, the way I tested the no fog today was I was cooking some chicken in a steamer.
Oh, really?
And I put my head over the steamer and I opened it up, and it like went into my goggles. And it cleared up right away. So, because it's not cold enough to need no fog. But so the other thing I've noticed, and this is with my snowboard goggles, that because the frame has some stuff in it, it's a little bit more stiff and a little bit more rigid. which some people really like.
A little bit more bulky on the outside.
Not too much. It's actually for like I said, it's it's a premium level goggle. It's up in the $100 range for a thing. It's not that bulky. So the lens is actually pretty stiff. If you feel it, it's not as flexy as a normal.
Yeah, that is dope.
Yeah, it's a good stiff lens. The frame is relatively stiff, but that's on the front part of the frame, but the back side of the frame is actually where the foam is and stuff. They've done a really good job. It's got the double layered foam, and you saw how much I was sweating today. It was literally dripping out of my helmet when I took my helmet off.
Look at that.
I didn't have any
sweat stains.
Oh, it did drip down finally.
Yeah.
So it was hot enough to drip on the lens, but I didn't even notice it. But the foam was really good. I would let you hold these or touch it right there.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
So, if you're looking for a nice new high-end goggle with the thing, I wish I had Matt's gold, bright gold lens. But if in our biggest problem out here is it gets really bright and then you go into the trees and it gets dark and stuff like that. So that way, if you went up to, you could wear this. Or the other big problem we have, especially this time of year, is you're riding during the day and you need this, and then you come back at night and you need this, and that's all it's done like that. So I don't like changing lenses. And,
me either.
And there's some good systems that have some different stuff. This is one of the best. Really nice. I'm happy with the fit. Happy with the foggability from what I can tell. Lens selection is awesome. Yeah. All good. And it fits well. I know it fits in climb helmets because that was what I was wearing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem overly big like some of them. Some of the goggles these days do. But so really nice.
Shoot, yeah, Dad, if you're watching this, can you order me a pair of those?
Yeah, well, if you get me that list of gear for doing photo modeling, you might be able to wear some, or I'll just give you some of my sweaty hand-me-downs.
So, I've got a pair of those already.
Hey, sweat absorption is really good. Oh yeah, you do. The dog pissed on yours.
Oh, you didn't have to bring that up, but yeah.
Yeah, he had dog piss face. So are all of his girlfriends watching?
Yeah,
they were smooching on dog piss face. So anyways, hey, thanks everybody for joining in, watching this show. You can always support us. I'm going to tell you a little bit real quick here about Yamaha YZ 2-strokes. If you want to experience pure performance and exhilarating power with the full line of Yamaha YZ 2-stroke bikes, visit YamahaMotorsports.com today to explore what's new for 2022. We're almost out of 2022. I'll bet you 2023 is coming really quick. But the big news is the revised YZ125. It makes for the perfect step-up machine. Logan can tell you this. It features an all-new engine, revised 6-speed transmission, new brake suspension settings, improved rider ergonomics, and the new aggressive styling that actually has kind of a taller seat height, I believe, but don't quote me on that. And so you're not red-headed stepchild unless you leave the choke on and still get a whole shot in the 125 class at a works race. Bam. So, okay. YZ250 also delivers improved rider ergonomics. Your shit's rubbing off on me really bad.
I was going to say, man, you guys got to make fun of him.
You can get YZ125 and YZ250 and Monster Energy Yamaha Racing graphics. And if you're bigger than Logan, then you can't ride the YZ65, YZ85, and YZ85 LW because those are big bikes in smaller packages. Visit YamahaMotorsports.com to find your Yamaha YZ. And if you're going to go racing like our first question of the night was, you should probably get one and then enter the victory zone without knowing how to race at all.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay. Click on our links on Amazon. Click on our links. I mean, this really does help us.
Rocky Mountain too.
Yeah, Rocky Mountain. This stuff kind of helps us. Tell our sponsors that you heard about them here. Or tell them you're buying their stuff because you are stoked they support us. It does make a bit of a difference. Tell your friends with dumb questions to ask them on this show.
Make sure you guys call in too.
Yeah, they can call in next time and ask me the question. Actually, you should dial the phone for your dumb friend because I know what having a dumb friend is like, Logan. I would dial the phone for you if it was an old rotary phone, and then I would hand it to you, and then you could ask the question. But like today, I had to ask Matt what this little symbol on this phone meant. And
what was it?
And he figured it out. And then he told me the story about how you kids are all mean to him because he's old.
They are mean to me on Twitch.
Yeah.
Not mean, but It was very humbling to be called the boomer who doesn't know how to work technology.
Yeah, so Matt's gaming on Twitch. Follow Matt, our ex-producer Matt, over on Twitch. He's now doing games. Where do they find you, Cooper?
Me?
Yeah, where are you at? What's your main thing?
Nothing.
You're not TikToking?
Oh, I'm on Instagram.
Instagram. Okay,
Yep.
He's on Instagram. What do they call you on Instagram?
Just type in my name, Cooper Luke. You'll see it.
Dog P face. Okay, and how do they find you, Logan? He's silent, so he'll do
Instagram?
Instagram. Oh, you're doing Instagram these days.
Not really.
Why don't you get your sister to manage that account?
She manages it as much as I do.
Okay, that's good. Right on. Okay, so with that, we'll probably see you next week. I don't see why we wouldn't. Is there any reason why we can't have a show next week?
We're gonna have a show next
Okay, we're gonna have a show next week. It's how many's?
Episode 145 next week.
145.
145.
We're gonna get it right by then, and with that, we will see you out on the trail. Cheers, everybody.